while you're doing this, you shut off all sources of electricity so that you do not hurt yourself. You can be injured or killed when playing with electricity. Do not take it lightly. You just got your brand new electric car, and it is time to figure out how to hook up your smart level 2 charger in your house, or in our case, in our garage. I'm gonna show you exactly how to make it work. I will talk about safety things you need to keep in mind, but I will show you this in a way that hopefully everyone at home can follow along with. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. You guys know us as the channel that shows you how to do stuff and hopefully to save some money. Well, we've started a couple electric car projects. So we've unveiled our electric Tesla truck project, which if you haven't seen that, it's a video. I'll put a link somewhere. You can check it out on this channel. But also more recently, we purchased a Mustang Mach-E electric car. And that means we need a way to reliably put a lot of power into that car quickly while we're at home so that we're always starting our day with a full electric charge. So today we are going to hook up our level 2 charger. I'm going to show you exactly the way that I'm going to do it on this electrical panel over here, which is a fire hazard waiting to happen. Small disclaimer, although I am an electrician, I am not showing you guys the code way to do this. I am showing you this is the way how to make it work way. I will explain what the correct way is, and this is a case of kind of do what I say, don't maybe do what I do, but I will show you what I'm gonna do and I will show you what you should do. But at the end of this video, we will have a functioning level 2 charger installed on the wall over here, ready for our brand new Mustang Mach-E, which we're going to pick up in about an hour from now. So maybe at the end of this video, I will show you plugging it in and charging it and hopefully making it work. I will talk about the charger we chose and why we chose it, but that's gonna come up as we install this video. So to start out with, this is the electric charger we got. This is the Autel Maxi Charger AC wall box home with the separate holster. We're gonna do a quick unboxing here. You can see it comes with some instructions as well as some stickers, which we will get into their use later. When we lift this guy up here, you can see this is the actual charger itself. And apparently I need 2 hands for this. So let me put you guys back up over here. Side note, this is obviously not a video of how to keep your garage clean, because clearly we have not done that. So that's our unit. That's more foam. And this is our charger cord. I'll show you guys what's in here. This is a plug for electrical wire, and wow, it mounts with 2 screws and it comes with tools. It's very important that you realize that these are actually security Torx bits. So that means it's got a little hole in the middle that a nub will go into when we're installing it. So you need these to hook up the system. So we'll put those right there. Now I got this one with the remote charger port. So this will plug into here and that's how it holds it. That's because I'm actually gonna charge the car outside during the summer, and in the winter I'm gonna pull into the garage. So I'll have to keep moving this from the inside to the outside depending on the season until I can see if I can find an extra one of these. But that's what that is. If you don't need to move it, you can get this guy right here with this mounted right on there automatically. Now the first thing we need to figure out is where we want to mount this, and I'm thinking that I want to put it right here. I've got an exposed stud right here, so I can put it on that stud and get it right by the door where I can access it, because the charger port on the Mustang, when I back it in, is actually right here, and then when I'm outside it'll be in the driveway kind of on the other side. I'll show you that after. So as you saw, the cover was a little tight on the corners. I just used a flat blade to pop those off. Now that we got the cover off, next we need to do is open this panel here. So we're just gonna do that. All the screws are out. There is a warning on here. Warning, risk of electric shock. Disconnect all power sources before installing or servicing the equipment. And that exposes the connection point. Now, this side over here is the connection for the charger port. This side over here is the connection for the power coming in. It should be noted, we will be playing with electricity. It is very important that while you're doing this, you shut off all sources of electricity so that you do not hurt yourself. You can be injured or killed when playing with electricity. Do not take it lightly. This is a serious thing, and you want to make sure you're being safe. So I'm glad you watched this whole video before you actually went to install this thing, because it turns out there's a wall plate that you're supposed to screw onto the wall, and then the charger just clips onto this. So we did need to pull that panel off. You didn't waste steps, it's just we got ahead of ourselves for steps. So this just needs to go on the wall where the charger is gonna go. So I'm gonna just have a quick look and see how high that ends up being. I need a little bit of clearance there, but not much. I'm gonna find a drill, which I think I've got one. Okay, this is now mounted securely, and it's waiting for that to clip onto there. So all we do, see how easy that was? That is now clipped onto there. There's a screw. This is what happens when you wear flip-flops in the shop. There's a tiny little screw here, right there, that holds this in. So I'll lie you guys down on your back while I try to get. Okay, screw is in, this is mounted tight. The next thing is to get our electricity from here over to there. And to do that, I've purchased this wire right here. Now I got this at Lowe's, and this wire is, if I look at it, somewhere on here it'll say 6 AWG with 3 wires and a ground. So you can see we've got a red, a black, a white, and a ground in there. And it is number 6 wire, 6 gauge wire. Now, the size of wire you get will largely depend on the capacity of your electrical panel. So now seems like a great time to talk about how to tell how much capacity your electrical panel has. Now, when I look at my electrical panel, I have 4 circuit breakers and I'm already full. So I have to actually abandon my welding plug initially to do this install. But even then, I still only have a 20 amp breaker. I know that I can use a 20 amp breaker because my wiring, which is coming in, is number 12. And number 12 will support 20 amps of power going through it. Now, my garage is a detached garage. That means that I have wiring coming from the house to the garage underground, and it is very difficult to change the wire that I have coming into my house. For that reason, I am limited to only put this as a 20 amp system. Now, this system will support up to 50 amps, 50. So I got this wire here based on what this can do. And the reason for that is I will possibly and probably end up swapping this panel out for a bigger one. And when I do, I will run new feeder wires so that I can fully utilize that charger at its full capacity. So I don't want to do the wiring here twice. So I'm just going to run that wiring over, and then in the future, if I do upgrade it, then this will still be relevant and proper. You'll be limited by how big your wire is going to your secondary panel, if you have a secondary panel. If you have your main house electrical panel in your garage or close to your garage, you can run that wiring right there that we got for here straight into that panel, and you could put a 50 amp breaker on there and run full power to this system and get the fastest charge possible. That would be ideal. I'm not in an ideal situation because I have a detached garage. Now, this brings us to why I picked this model. This model is actually adjustable, so you can tell it in 1 amp increments what the maximum current you want it to run is. So in my case, because I've got 20 amps, I can set this to 20 amps. Now, if for some reason I end up blowing the breaker there or blowing the breaker that feeds this panel, I can turn this down 1 amp to like 19 or 18 or 17, whatever I need to. Consequently, I could also turn this up if I find that it handles 20 amps just fine. And this statement is not to be taken out of context. So this is not the correct thing to do, but you can do it. I could turn the power up to that to 21 amps or 22 amps. Even though that breaker is set up for 20 amps, they're known to be able to handle 21 or 22 amps without any problem. And the wire definitely will be able to handle that capacity. So that's not a problem. It's just the breaker might trip. So I may try squeezing 1 or 2 extra amps out of this if I need to. And a lot of what I'm going to be doing is just plugging the car in when I come home at the end of the day and see if it's charged in the morning when I come back to use it. If it's charged, I don't need to do anything here. If it's not charged, then I definitely want to spend the money to upgrade that panel so that I can get full power to this. Now that I've lectured you guys on all of this, hopefully you follow along. If you have questions, post them in the comments. I do try to answer a lot of the questions that I get. If there are enough questions, I will do a secondary video on this to walk you through it. But this video will hopefully have enough information to help you guys see what you need to do. So the next step is simply to run the power. It's not something that's interesting for you guys to watch, so I'm gonna cut this off right here. I'll do a quick time lapse, and then we'll jump back in and I'll show you what I've done. So, spared you guys the trouble of having to watch me do this. It took me about 20-30 minutes to do this. What we've got here is our wire coming into the panel. We have 220 volts across here. And I know that because I can check that with my meter, but I've powered it up. You can see my wires are coming in here, then they go through that wire over to here. Now inside here, you're gonna have 3 terminals there, and they are labeled L1, L2, and then there's a ground symbol. The ground definitely has to go on the back. L1 and L2 don't really matter. In electrical wiring standards, you're gonna go red and black always. So we went red, black here, and over here we also went red, black. It's important to note that it really doesn't matter what color those wires are. They could be purple, they could be blue, they could be anything you want, but you do need 1 wire coming off of one breaker and 1 wire coming off of a different breaker. When you measure across these 2 terminals, you have to have 220 to 240 volts. So if you stick a meter on there, that's what you should read. And then over here, you should read exactly the same. Now this is powered up right now, as you can see there. So I'm gonna cover this plate back up, and then we'll get to mounting the adapter holder on the outside of the garage. And then we'll connect the Wi-Fi and see what the app looks like. Okay, this has been a little crooked. This has been mounted on the wall, and then this guy plugs in here, and it actually should even light up. I'm gonna plug it in. There we go, expert installation. Obviously I'm gonna put a little ramp here. I actually am looking at getting an extension cord for this guy so that I can run it inside, kind of up and over there and then down and then through the wall, so that in the summertime she'll park right here where my truck is and she can plug in and charge. But right now we can go like this, and then that'll easily reach here for her to plug in, and then she can still come over here. Oh, that doesn't light up at all. And then go like that. Not the neatest, have to cut some weeds and whatever, but now it's time to hook this app up and see what happens. So let's try doing that. So now we're gonna go to the Play Store and we're gonna look for the Autel Charge app. Move that out of the way. And I don't know what the app looks like. To get the Autel Charge app, get it on Google Play, install it. We'll see if we can get this connected to Wi-Fi. Open that app up, agree, allow, register. Please complete the verification. Click the cube, matches the orientation of uppercase A. Okay, 821-658. 821-658. I'm gonna make a password, register. I should have done it with my email address. Add, allow while using the app. On the quick guide, link. There's a sticker here with the QR code to add that app, and I'm gonna peel this off and stick it on the charger so that in the future I'm able to add this again if I need to. Can I do that? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's working quite how I expected. Connect, allow, pair. I'm gonna get some tape and tape that down. So I need to add a Wi-Fi network to Gears and Tech YT and hope that that's got internet. And we're going to set the max charge current to 20 amps because that's what our box is. Yes, I do. Completed. That's it. So according to this, I am connected. I'm going to change the connector name, the charger name, to home so we know. So here you can see a lot of features of this. So as you saw, we can set the max charge current. This is what I was talking about. So in this case, I have a 20 amp breaker. I have up to 20 amps that I can support, not through the wiring in the charger, but through the wiring to the garage. If I end up having problems because I'm pulling too much current, I can always turn this down by 1 amp increments to 19, 18, whatever. If it's okay and I need a little bit more charging time, then I can turn it up, 21, 22. In the future, if I upgrade the wiring to the garage, then I could pump this up to 50 amps or all the way to 50 amps according to this app, and fine tune and dial in those settings. So for now, 20 amps is plenty. You can also set your energy price. I have no idea what my energy price is, but that would figure out costing for how much it's costing for you to actually charge your EV. And I don't know what else you can do here. We can link with Alexa. We can do a firmware update. Let's see if it'll do an update. Firmware updating. Okay, it looks like it's updating. Stand close to the charger to avoid interruption. And if I look at this, here I'll show you guys. So here's the charger. Here, I'll stand off to the side so you don't see my reflection on there. So we've got a charge indicator here. It's not charging right now. Power is on. It does say that I'm not connected to internet and I'm connected through Bluetooth, but it is updating right now. So I'm gonna stand close by just to make sure that's working. I do need to troubleshoot my internet connection a little bit because I'm using my Wi-Fi connection from there, which has a pass-through from the house, which has stopped working recently, and I didn't take any time to troubleshoot it. Now might be a good time for me to try to figure that out. But as you can tell, you do not need an internet connection to make this work. It will work on the Bluetooth app if you want to monitor it. Now, while I'm doing that, it is important to note that I have showed you a way to make this work. It is not ideal, and any electricians out there watching this saying, holy crap, you're totally unsafe, you're gonna burn the house down. This is safe. We've hooked all the grounds up, we've put the proper breakers in, we've sized the load to the breaker, not to the wire, and we've allowed ourselves the capacity to update or upgrade later on if that's needed. It might not be needed in this case, but this should be used as a rough guide to show you what somebody has done, and you can do it too, but I do not accept any liability or responsibility if you hurt yourself, shock yourself, burn your house down, or otherwise. So do it with caution. But hopefully that helped. I've got a ton more EV videos coming up in the future. Stay tuned for those. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.